let's actually come back to the basics. Why am I critiquing Instagram profiles in the first place? I'm assuming a girl checks you out online, because they all do now, and they make decision based on your profile. They make the decision, do I want to meet this guy or do I not want to meet this guy? Do I want to meet him for a coffee and give him 2 or 3 hours of my valuable whatever time, or not, because I have better options? So this is what they do. This is why it's so important these days to have a social media profile, if you like it or not. But you can say, no, I'm opting out of all of those, young kid bullshit. Well, then you don't exist on those platforms, which means you don't give the woman a chance to make up her mind, and she will just revert to somebody who has a profile, because it's just safer for her to meet a guy that communicates online about himself versus the guy who doesn't. Doesn't mean you have to communicate everything. You can still be mysterious, which can be an archetype and a vibe, but then communicate mysteriousness versus not communicate at all is more like suspicious and creepy. Yes. That's why the social aspect is so important. Because I want to know, if I go on a date with this guy, who is this guy? Does he have friends? And if not, why not? Does he have female friends? If not, why not? What's wrong with this guy? All right. It's rolling. Hello and welcome to my new studio. We are gonna review Instagram profiles based on, are they suitable for dating? I'm seeing this for the first time, by the way. His name is Theo. Let's go top to bottom. Let's remember, I'm reviewing Instagram profiles with the mindset of Instagram is a dating app. Therefore, your Instagram profile is your dating profile. Now, some people might disagree with that. They might be like, no, it's a photo sharing app where I show how my hobbies are or where I communicate with my family, All of this is true, but really, let's be honest, what it boils down to is you have an Instagram for one of 2 reasons. One is to get women, pussy, and the other one is to get money. If you use it as a business thing, totally fine. If you don't, the only other option is to get women/men. It goes vice versa. For women, it's the same thing. They either want to make money of it by funneling leads to somewhere, or they want to find their next partner or fling or whatever. So that's the lens I'm looking at this. We got Theo here. He is in Lisbon, Barcelona, Paris, a very multinational. He's also showing his whole schedule, bringing Lisbon, which is interesting for a guy to show, right? It clearly shows a lot of travel, exploration, adventurous side of him. He's coupling that with throwing growth houses. Here's the title, which I, of course, know what that means because I'm literally doing the same thing. I'm creating growth houses with guys. I'm basically in one right now. I'm in Turkey for 5 weeks with my whole team. Working on videos like this one. So if you see that on YouTube, it's proof that growth houses work. But obviously women won't really understand what a growth house is. They're like, what is that? To grow plants or to grow spiritually or okay. But fine, he's using it maybe to make money. So he's actually still following the principle. If he maybe at some point creates growth houses and charges for them, or maybe he is reducing his own cost. So I don't have anything against that. Story highlights, I love that it's vague. A big mistake people make usually is that they show highlights, but it's not really a highlight. So I'm opening the highlights here. It's a girl snowboarding. Looks like a girl. Oh, I'm intrigued already. Who is that? Beach, villa. Okay, vibes, some photography, only to close friends. Cool. Seems like he's following my advice. I know Theo actually, he's in the elite part of my Discord, so I think he took some advice there. Probably he did sign up for my social media webinar as well, because it looks like already a pretty professional profile. So I'm gonna be a little bit more harsh here with my feedback, because he's clearly looking for very specific feedback. Photography looks good. And again, he's only showing that to close friends. I like that. Because photography, especially what we're seeing here, see what he does. Yeah, the first and second one, which is kind of like not so sexy. He's showing everyone, but then when it gets very sexy, as in I can see nipples, skin, bottom part, he's only showing the close friends. Probably for 2 reasons. One is he doesn't want to have it taken down by Instagram, because they often block stuff like this. But the other one is maybe his photography is not at a level yet where he wants to show it that much to people and have it judged. Photography is a touchy topic because I'm preaching it on the one hand that it's a great hobby to do if you want to meet more women. If your goal is to become a better seducer, then we can ask ourselves the question, well, how do you become better with women? How do you become more charismatic? The obvious answer is, well, just meet more women. How do we meet more women? Well, if your hobbies are programming and playing Farm Simulator at home, which I love, by the way, big fan, but it's just not the best hobby to meet women on a consistent basis. Photography is, working in a coffee shop is, organizing parties is of course amazing, working in a clothing shop even, that's not a hobby but a job, but all of those things are just way better because simply by being exposed to women on a daily basis, you will get more charismatic. So I love photography, but a lot of people started photography just to meet women. So they suck at photography and they think they will get women anyway. No, a lot of women will look at this, not at his, but in general, really shitty photos, bad lighting, bad composition, clearly a beginner. If you're a beginner photographer, that's fine. But when you look at your photos right now, you are not realizing that you're a beginner. You will only look back at the photos in 3 years. You will look back at the photos you took now and realize, oh my God, I was a beginner. Same with me. If I look back at my old photos, horrible. In 3 years time, when I look back at the photos I take now, I'll think the same. It's just how it is. It's just the natural artistic progression. Girls who are a little more advanced in that and they've maybe worked with different photographers, they will look at your work and they will see, he's not at that level. I don't want to be portrayed by him because I don't want to be published like that because I don't want to see myself in his photos based on what I see so far. So I like the move that he's doing here, whatever reason he does it for. He can go a little slow in the photography and hone his craft. Okay, so far, very good profile. Let's actually check the story. Okay, cool composition, light, maybe a little touch on Ukraine because it's blue and yellow. I don't know. Okay, working with shadows. I love that. Wow, that's a great photo, man. Cool. I love that. So let's pop in there. We can look here and say, oh, he only has 129 followers. No girl will like him. Followers don't matter. What would you rather have? A horrible profile where it's always only you without any women, following none of my 4 principles for social media profiles, but 50,000 followers, or an amazing profile, looks beautiful, looks social, looks like you're having a cool life, looks like you have interesting friends, but 100 followers. Obviously the second profile is way higher value. The followers is just one number and everybody these days know how to buy them, so it means nothing anymore. So let's jump into the actual feed. Even just on a visual basis, if you like blur your eyes, I like the colors. He's using black and white a lot here. Warm tones. You can clearly see a palette. There's not a lot of reds. There's not a lot of greens. That is very obviously from a photographer aspect now. But if you want to, as I said, I'm going to be a little more harsher here. If you want to appeal to models, to visual people, well, then things like this will matter. They will see something like this and be like, okay, this guy has a good sense for composition, light, color. He's aware of surroundings around him. He knows how to pick and choose things and have an eye for detail. So if he wants to frame himself as a photographer, then obviously he needs to show this kind of things. So he's doing that. Back to my 4 principles, which I'll repeat in all those videos, but it's basically, does he show himself as a cool guy? Is he a model in his own story? On this photo, he clearly is. So here he looks cool with a camera around his neck, which, you know, underlines the story of photographer. Great composition, great lighting. He combines it with some social stuff. Great. Second one, does he have hobbies, activities, passions? Well, photography seems to be one. Oh, here's with a snowboard. Nobody knows if it's him. Could just be a stock footage thing, but yeah, it looks like him. Cool. So he has passion. Third one, is he outdoor? Is he a man of nature, of adventure, of movement? Is he traveling? Here in some park. Obviously, snowboarding is an outdoor sport. He seems to be here at the beach. More of a vibey kind of shot, maybe a stock footage, I don't know. Fine, here's with a backpack, so yeah. And then the fourth and most important one, is he social? So we see here, he has women that are ready to be portrayed by him. Sure, he could pay models for that. Oh, okay, interesting. He has a topless girl in front of him. All right, that goes a little bit in the fuckboy direction. So let's talk about that later. Then there's a girl on top of him, on his back, cuddling him, maybe kissing his cheek. Interesting. Is that the same girl? Do the tattoos match? Now I'm looking at the lens, through the lens of a girl, deciding if I should go on a date with him. Is he cheating on his girlfriend? Did he ask me out on a date? Very suspicious. And here looks like a fun house party. Everybody looks like genuinely having fun. It's not a cringe group photo. Usually group photos can be cringy, but this one looks absolutely funny and yeah, super hilarious. That's some popcorn game. And here on purpose, everybody's extra posing, which makes the posing fun again. So they went full circle. Props for that. But let's go back to those girls' images. So this is where it gets tricky. This is a lifestyle shot, and I get what he did there because I did a similar shot, which my editor can show. Maybe he was inspired by it, I don't know, or by some other guy. And this is more like a coupley shot, and this is a photographer shot. So the difference between his and mine here is, in my photo, there's several women. In his photo, there's only one. So for me, it's a vibe, it's a lifestyle. My friends are around. I'm just in a villa with friends, basically. Accidentally, all the friends are also super hot females with super hot bodies. For him, it's one girl. So this begs the question, who is she and is this his girlfriend? Same here, even more obvious, is this his girlfriend? And then the question is, if this guy, Theo, let's say he's doing street approaching or he's meeting girls in bars or waiting in the line at a club or in the club or whatever. He's closing girls, he's closing them on Instagram, and he's setting up dates. They will see this and they will be like, well, this guy already has a girlfriend. What am I doing here going on a date with him? And what does he want to get out of this? And is he trying to get a threesome? Is he just cheating on her? Maybe he mentioned his girlfriend if he has one, I don't know. So as you see, it gets confusing quickly for a girl and she might just go, I don't want the hassle. Because usually I made the experience in my life that when you have a girlfriend, other women around you really respect that, and it's almost like she's marking her territory and other girls are not approaching you anymore. Same principle comes in. Other girls see that, and this woman here in this profile is kind of marking her territory through the communication of his Instagram photo. Maybe he did it with a real purpose, but if not, then I would remove that. And if you have women in your profile, which you actually should have, make it several ones, make them in the background. You can see some examples on my Instagram, which I can show in, or this one, right? That's a great example. There's two girls here and they're having fun, and there's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, great ratio here. That's cool, right? Clearly those are friends or whatever, and they're all having fun. So girls are around him, they're relaxed, they're in a normal chill state. Cool, seems like it's fun to be around Theo. But what's up with his girlfriend here kind of vibe? To wrap it up, it's only 12 photos. I would suggest have a little more because this looks a bit too much, as just like the minimal thing. So have 20 or 25 photos, then you're fine. So your girls can scroll a little bit, see a little bit. But seems like you're just starting out. The latest one was posted July 20. So you're building it, you're doing the work. Also, obviously love that tattoo shot that I didn't even mention yet, but I love that. Looks cool. All right, so 3 things we take away from this profile are: be careful showing yourself with one girl because she might mark her territory as your girlfriend to every other female watching your profile, and it might be a huge turnoff for all the girls you want to meet. Second one, if you are going the photographer route, be careful. He does this well. Don't show cringy, bad photos. If you don't know if your photos are cringy and bad, ask a guy who is more advanced, who is better photographer than you, and ask for honest advice, or literally pay people for advice if you don't have friends who are brutally honest with you. Or text it to me. You can DM me on Instagram and I will tell you when your photo sucks. I often see my job as being honest. I'm basically getting paid to be honest. If I have time, I'll check your photos on Instagram. Third one, you're doing a good job. You're following the 4 principles, which you can show here again. So I really like that. And you can see that when a guy follows those 4 principles of a successful, sexy social media profile, it looks already good without even trying too hard. A little bonus, 4th takeaway is you can do this without any luxury. I know my profile, my main one, Alex Over the Ocean, is very expensive or like over the top. Sure, that's because I built my lifestyle over the last 8 years. And my goal was to get there, but there's zero luxury involved in this profile here. He's in a normal pool, right? He has a snowboard which you can rent. That could be an Airbnb for $100 a night. He's getting a tattoo. He has a normal camera. He's on the beach, public places. You can do this. That's what I want you to understand. You don't have to be some influencer or connected or a millionaire to have an attractive social media profile. All right, if you want to submit yours, DM me on alexleon_TNL. Now, if you enjoyed this and you want to go a little bit deeper and find out what is actually the best method to find and date women online in 2023, I talk about it in this video here. Click and you will get a deep dive into that. See you in the next one.